This is Bill Hornbarger, Chief Investment Officer at Benjamin F. Edwards, with three things to watch for the week of May 4th, 2026. Well, we have a lot of economic reports out this week. The JOLTS data, job opening, labor turnover survey data, new home sales, and the big one will be on Friday with the employment report for the month of April. Non-farm payrolls are expected up a relatively tepid 62,000. The unemployment rate steady at 4.3%. Again, if we get those consensus numbers, that probably doesn't move the needle a lot in terms of Fed expectations and monetary policy. Inflation concerns, heightened inflation concerns are one of the big themes in the market right now. On Friday, we'll get the University of Michigan consumer sentiment data. As part of that, we get inflation expectations for both 1 year and 5 years ahead. With the war starting in March, we saw a big jump in inflation expectations in April. The 1 year number jumped to 4.7%. Again, that level is expected in May, potentially even a little bit higher, something to keep an eye on. That is something that the Fed will keep a very close eye on. And then finally, we're starting to wind down earnings week. Earnings season last week was the biggest week of earnings season for the first quarter, but we still have about 200 companies in the S&P 500 to report. Earnings continue to exceed expectations. 81% of the companies that have reported so far have reported a positive earnings surprise. Earnings are running about 10% ahead of expectations, which again, were already relatively robust. On the calendar this week, we have names like Palantir, AMD, Disney, things to keep an eye on from different parts of the economy.